welcome. I hope it has started because these things are always super. So I'm gonna start. First of all, good morning. It's 10 o'clock. I think it's a Wednesday, or could be a Thursday. Anyway, let's get started. Of course, welcome to the session. If you have not watched the previous session, which was yesterday, make sure that you go and watch it because that was the session in which I discussed the first initial rules of active and passive voice. So if you've not checked that out, guys, what are you even doing here? To make sure that once this video is done, you go back to that video and check that out. I can see some of us are already active. Yes, Anushka, there is of course Menti. We actually, in fact, have 5 quizzes today. So we have a lot of quizzes. Yes. Shreya, hi. Shivi, I think you missed over there, but hello to you too. Of course, there is Ria. I think Ria is what the name is. Somehow I feel like it's very confusing because you are using an account and your name is not that account's name. So I always get confused. Yes, good morning to everybody. Hi, Bharat. Ayan, hi. Ayan, we met yesterday, no? It's good to see you again. Then there is Harjan Kaur Balmani. I think, oh, my name is Neha. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's so confusing. You have to understand it from my perspective. I get really confused. Right? All right. Good morning, everyone. Of course, we're going to get started. Right? We're going to get started with a quick introduction about me. That is in case you don't know who am I and what am I doing here. Right? My name is Andreena and I did my bachelor's in economics. That basically means that I studied economics for 3 years. Yes, from the university. Post that, for the past 4 years, I've been doing a lot of teaching, not just to kids, but also to teachers and trainers. And of course, most importantly, I've been learning a lot, right? Not just about teaching, but also doing a lot of content, curriculum development. And of course, guys, if you already don't know what my favorite color is, it's green. Some piece of information, I don't know how relevant it is, but it's good to have information. Yes, let's get started by a quick introduction about Unacademy as well. It's just class 6, it's basically class 7 because that's the channel we're on, right? And of course, if you subscribe, and that is this is a YouTube live class, but if you come on board with Unacademy with me, right, these are some things that you get as a subscription. There's of course daily live classes, which basically means that you just like this is live, I can read all of your chats, right? So there's going to be like a platform in which you can chat with me while I'm teaching as well. Of course, there is structured courses, which basically means that all these courses are created by teachers, so they know what they're doing. You can believe that. Other than that, there is also a lot of fun tested quizzes. So on the platform, we don't really use Menti. We use the polls which are there already on the Unacademy platform, right? There would be a special class very soon, right? So I will definitely let you know how you can join that to experience the platform and, of course, learn a lot more. And the last option is, of course, unlimited access, which basically means that you will get all the recorded videos, every video that's ever been recorded on the platform, along with access to every other educator on the platform, which basically means that if you feel like, oh, I don't want to learn from this teacher, this particular subject, you can switch to another teacher anytime, right? So unlimited access in terms of all the educators who are teaching on that particular great platform, right? Which is, I think, is the best feature because I don't think it's the subject. I think it's the teacher which makes you love the subject. So the teacher is very important, right? Of course, we've talked about live classes. We have also discussed that you'll be working and you'll be learning a lot more with a lot of top educators who are learning from you too. And of course, then there's a comprehensive syllabus bit, which is basically saying कि ये सारे courses are created by the teachers, so you can trust that. Yes. All right. Make sure that you join the Unacademy learning app, install it, download it from the Play Store, right? And stay in touch with us through the Telegram app. In case you don't know what this is, guys, this is a messaging app. All you have to do is download it and copy paste this link in this link, right? And you'll be able to join the Junior Stars group, which basically means that you can stay in touch with all the educators who are teaching on the 6th, 7th, and 8th Unacademy platform. So yeah, so you might not get a numbers, but you get to stay in touch with us through this, right? And of course, this is what the subscription page looks like when you actually go to buy a subscription. Their subscription is really flexible. So it's 1 month to 24 months. So you can range from a month to 24 months. So 2 years, right? So you decide what subscription for how long do you want to subscribe with us. And I would say go for something which is a little long term. I would say 12 months at least, because otherwise you will not know whether you're actually liking the content, the teacher, how the teacher is teaching, are you understanding anything. Very important, right? This is the code ANSYT. This is my code, right? What exactly happens when you apply this code? You actually get a straight 10% discount. So make sure that you use this code. Don't forget it's ANSYT, right? Whenever, if you're planning to buy a subscription, I would personally love to have you in my classroom. And of course, make sure that you don't forget this code. Cool. Now that we're done with that, wow, a lot of things happening on the chat box. I didn't even read it for the past 5 minutes. But guys, this is a 1.5 hour class, so we are here for the long haul. Just saying, right? Can you identify the sentence? Definite. We use in the articles. Sailesh, we will be doing articles very soon. I think yes, articles is the next topic I think that we're doing. And I am going to link my schedule also in the comment section once the session is over, along with the assignments and summary. So you will be able to see all the resources related to this session that we're doing today. Right? Sneha, hi. I'm doing good. It's a morning. It's 10 o'clock. But how are you doing? Good to see you here. Of course, Hansa, of course, there'll be Menti. Chill out, guys. Don't worry about it. All right. So what we're going to do today is going to be doing a lot of active and passive voice. This is session number 2. In case you're watching this video later and you're like, ma'am, why is this session number 2? Because session number 1 happened yesterday. You need to go and check that video out. Hmm? All right, let's get started. Let me get the pen thing. This is really okay, cool. Got it. Okay, what are the questions that we'll answer that we sort of answered in the last class also? What is subject, object, and verb? What exactly is active and passive voice? How is active voice different from passive voice? And of course, what are some rules that you have to follow when converting from active to passive and passive to active? अगर active to passive समझ में आ गया तो I think passive to active is very straightforward, right? Of course, these are the learning outcomes. We'll be able to identify subject, object, and verb. इसका मतलब क्या है? If you see a sentence, you would be able to tell कि ये subject है, object है या verb है. And of course, we would be able to spot an active and passive sentence. This is very important. क्योंकि कभी कभार in the exam, a sentence will be given and they will ask you to convert it into an opposite voice sentence. So if you already don't know whether it's an active sentence or a passive sentence, you can't convert it to an opposite voice sentence, right? So very important to be able to spot the difference between an active and passive voice. We would be able to differentiate between an active and passive voice. बता सकते हैं कि ये different क्यों है, ये active क्यों है और ये passive क्यों है. And of course, we'll be able to practice the rules for converting from active to passive and passive to active. How will we do that? We're going to do that through the assignment that you're going to find in the comment section once the video is done. So make sure that you come back to the video during the day in the next 2-3 hours and actually check the comment section for the link to the assignment that is related to this class. If you don't, then you will not be able to practice. And guys, active learning, you can't sit in these sessions without a note. Is a notebook. Let me use my very bad drawing skills here. And of course, there is a pen. Ignore that, but you got the idea, right? So a notebook and a pen, because we're going to be working together. There's of course Menti, but I think it's just better when you make your own notes or some important points, right? Let's do a recap quiz. Hi Keshav. Keshav, nice. In 10 minutes on Zoom app. Ashok, all the best for your exam. I hope it goes well. Guys, let's do a quick recap quiz. So let's use this code 2241279 to join the quiz, right? And then we're going to do a recap quiz. What does that mean? Everything that I taught yesterday, I'm going to be testing today. Not very difficult questions, actually very straightforward. So, okay, that's cool. All right, I hope everybody got it. Let's go to the, I have to discard it. Yes. Let's go to the quiz. And I want to present it. I'm going to get started with the quiz. So the code is, guys, 2241279.
right? So make sure that you are joining the quiz. Let's wait for a couple of more seconds and then we're going to get started. Okay. Thank you so much. Fun with Sarthak Raj, class 7. That is interesting. That is an interesting name. All right, let's wait for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think we're good, right? I would expect more, but I think it's so early in the morning. I'm not surprised. There is a bunny and there's a tiger. There is a shoe. There's a shoe which got added. Cool. Let's get started. Sneha, good. I'm good. Let me know how are you in the chat box. Right. So let's get started. I think we have 10, 15 of us. So let's get started. Right. So fast answer faster to get more points. Apparently, there's a thing. She has written a novel. Is it an active voice sentence or a passive voice sentence? Also, guys, this time I've reduced the time. So there is 20 seconds to answer the question. Active voice or passive voice? She has written a novel. 3, 2, 1, and we are done. What do you think is the answer? This takes a lot of time to load. 15 of us are saying that it's an active voice sentence. She has written. She has written. I think it's an active voice sentence. I think I tagged the answer wrong. My mistake. Sorry. Guys, the answer is actually 15 of you are actually correct. Ma'am is wrong because ma'am tagged the wrong answer. So we are not gonna count the result for this. Oh, Sneha is here. Sneha, hi. I think this is better. Wow, this took a lot of time. Yes, yes, Aditya. Of course, I'm gonna give you the next question. I'm sorry, there's a lot of glitch here. So apologies for the bad internet connection that I have. The dog chased the cat. Is it an active sentence or a passive sentence? Also, guys, very less time actually. It's just 20 seconds. So the dog chased the cat. Is it an active sentence or a passive sentence? Akash, yes, of course, it is buffering. I'm so sorry. I think the internet connection here is kind of tricky. All right. How many of us gave the correct answer? Guys, the dog chased the cat is an active sentence. The cat was chased by the dog is a passive sentence. So, yeah, it's going to be active. 21 of you give yourself some pat on the backs. You guys are amazing. And you guys actually bear with a lot of my technical fumbles. So I'm very grateful. All right. Sneha is still leading the board. Ayan, why? Oh, somebody's name. Oh, I think it's canceling names. Oh, Anushka. Anushka is leading the board. Not bad. Let's move on to the next question, which is the third question of the 5 questions that we are going to be doing as a recap quiz. Yes. All right. Let's see. No, I want to go to the third question. Okay, I really need to become better at this. Feel like, okay, a story was being written by him. Convert to active sentence. Now, a story was being written by him is a passive sentence. All you have to do is convert it into a active sentence, right? Now, this is in lieu of the fact that I know that we have not done tenses yet. That's exactly what we're going to cover. We're going to cover a lot of tenses that change when you're converting from active to passive. Oh, she was writing a story. I think he was. I think he was writing a story is the correct answer. Again, I think a wrong answer is tagged. I feel so embarrassed making these mistakes. Cool. 13 of you are actually correct, guys. It just shows here wrong. So this quiz ka last leaderboard I will not even consider. Right? Yes, the story is written. The story is written by him. A story was being written by him. Okay, I think that also sounds great. Cool. I'm so sorry, guys. We are not going to take the answers for this one because I think let's just focus on the rest of the 4 quizzes that we have. I'm definitely going to be a lot more careful when I make these quizzes. Cool. Does it show the leaderboard? Oh, there's one more question. Let's see. I hope the question's answer is stacked right. All right. I am reading a book. Convert to opposite voice. I am reading a book. Right? So this is an active sentence. Is not a passive sentence, so you have to convert it into a passive sentence. I like reading books. A book is being read by me. A book is being read by me. Books and me are reading. Right? I think I should give you more time. Oh, most of us gave the correct answer, which is a book is being read by me. Thank God this was tagged correctly. There's a lot of embarrassment on YouTube. Where you can change the answer. Of course, I can change the answer. I think I tagged the wrong answer, but all right. let's move on to looking at the leaderboard, even though the leaderboard is not correct in this one. Yes. All right. So here I'm not going to, even though I know somebody's gonna win, I'm not going to. Ayan, you won, but Bache, I'm not going to be able to take the score for this one because two answers were tagged wrong. Cool. Guys, let's move on to the next part, which is basically going to be a quick revision of everything that we did in yesterday's class. And then we're going to get into understanding what we're going to be doing today. Right? So we met subject and object. If you don't know what subject and object is, this class won't work. You need to go back and watch the other video. So make sure that you do that first. Right? So we met subject and object. We already know that there are two ways to express any action, not even an action, any action. So you're eating, sleeping, jumping, playing, studying, whatever you're doing can be expressed in active voice or passive voice. Yes. So any action that you can think of can be expressed in two voice, active and passive. Now, to understand the difference between active and passive voice, you need to know what is a subject and object. That is why I said if you don't know what subject and object is, you need to go back, watch the other video, and then come back here because this will not make a lot of sense. Right? We already know that subject. Where is the pen? I think the pen is the worst part. It's arduous to work with it. Okay, subject and object. Subject is the action doer, object is the action receiver. The simple example that I gave the other day, I eat Maggie, I am eating Maggie, I is the subject because I'm doing the action of eating. Verb is the eating bit because that's the action, and object is Maggie, right? Or I threw the bag on the floor, right? The bag is going to be the object because that bag is receiving the action, which is throwing. And who's throwing the bag? I'm throwing the bag, so that's the action. And not the action, but that's the subject. What am I saying? Cool, right? So that is the essential difference between active and passive voice. Subject acts upon the object in active voice, and in passive voice, the object is acted upon by the subject. That is the core difference that you have to understand. A very fancy way of saying कि active voice में ना subject पहले आता है, object बाद में आता है. Passive voice में object पहले आता है, subject बाद में. Right? So this is what the sentence structure looks like for active and passive voice, right? So subject comes first and object comes later. But here in passive voice, it's different. Object comes first, subject comes later. So this sentence structure I want you to remember because this is very, very important to understand the 5 basic rules that we covered yesterday. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you gotta go and check out that video because otherwise you won't be able to understand the tenses bit. All right. So rule number 1, we already know subject and object interchange places when we're converting from active to passive, right? Now, rule number 2 is you always use past participle form of the verb, which is the V3 form of the verb when we are converting from active voice to passive voice. So if you don't know what V3 form is, guys, V1 is the base form, V2 is the simple past form, and V3 is the past participle form. So every verb has these 3 basic forms. So which one are we going to be using when we're converting from active to passive is V3 or the past participle form of the verb, right? Garima, you're back. I'm glad that you're back. Anand Pandey, hacker, Bunny, nice to meet you again. We saw each other yesterday, right? Of course, let's move on to rule number 3. I will keep looking at the chat box time and time again. So I'm sorry if it's disrupting. We can use the word by when we are converting from active to passive. Other than by, we can also use with and to when we are converting from active to passive. So passive may you can add some words which are not there in the active sentence, right? Rule number 5 is when we write passive sentences, it might or might not have it can be without a subject as long as we give a very clear idea about the subject. So that is very important, right? So salt is sold in kilograms. यहाँ पे salt per se कोई action कर नहीं रहा है, but we are giving information about salt. So passive sentences which don't really have an active subject but give a clear idea about the subject, right? So again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out that video. We also discussed in the last video when should you use active voice sentence, and very, very simple. When you want to deliver something very clearly, or when you want to deliver something in a very strong tone. right? Now this is very very important because you need to understand most of what we talk to each other is in active voice and not passive voice, right? Passive voice is used mostly to convey something in a much more subtle manner, right? Menti is already done. Vanya, Menti will, there are 4 more mentees left, so don't worry. Yes. Which is this class? Prem, Meena, this is active and passive class for Unacademy class 7th. You're on the channel, look it up. Yes. So we want to convey the message in a subtle manner. That is when we use passive voice. Now, this is all the revision that I have wanted to do. So we did a quiz, we did this. In the next 1 hour, we are going to try and understand some tenses and how do tenses change when we are converting from active voice to passive voice, right? So tenses is going to be the focus of this sentence. So guys, if you have tenses or if you have active and passive voice coming in your exam, then this is going to be extremely, extremely helpful. Yes. Lena, thank you so much for letting me know that's just crystal clear. Awesome. Right? So sentences. Sorry. Tenses that we are going to take a look at is, of course, we're going to take a look at simple present, present continuous. We're going to look at simple past, past continuous tense, simple future, and future continuous tense. Very simple. There's nothing fancy about it. It's very straightforward. The reason why I'm choosing to do simple present with present continuous is because it's easier. Otherwise, you will get confused. Last May, before we end the session, we are going to do present perfect, past perfect, and future perfect tense because a lot of times students are like, ma'am, you did not teach perfect tense. So I will teach it and hopefully you'll get it. I'm very positive about that. Cool. So we're going to look at simple, we're going to look at perfect tense, and we're going to look at continuous tense. Right? So 3 different types of tenses and how do they change when we are converting from active voice to passive voice and vice versa. Yes? Alright, let's get started by understanding simple present tense. Now, the first thing I want you to understand is simple present tense use kab hota hai. When do we use simple present tense? So, whenever we talk about something that happens in the present, right? Every day, week, or every month. For example, I go to the park every day. I go to, I go to school every week. Now that there is COVID happening, we are going to school, but we're going to school a little less, which is good, not that bad, right? We also use simple present tense for routines. Routines, money, basically saying, okay, I brush my teeth every day, right? Or I pray before I go to bed every day, right? That's a part of your routine. Routine, habits, and facts. Facts, the earth goes around the sun. That is a fact. So the earth goes around the sun. We are going to use simple present tense for that. This is something that I want you to remember when you think about simple present tense. Now you might ask me, ma'am, why do we need to know this? Because if you don't know this, you will not be able to convert simple present tense sentences from active to passive. Pretty straightforward, right? So make sure that you know simple present tense is used for talking about something that happens in the present, routines, habits, and facts, right? Now, simple present tense, helping verb. Now, if we don't know what helping verb is, guys, right? There's a class 6th video that I did a couple of days ago, I think on Monday, Tuesday. Go check that out because there I talk a lot about verbs, right? So helping verbs actually support the main verb, right? And there's so many helping verbs. Every tense has its own special helping verb, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out that class 6 video on the Unacademy Class 6 channel because it's going to be very, very helpful, right? So helping verbs basically do exactly, or auxiliary verbs, that's what they're called. They do exactly what they say. They help the main verb, right? When used in passive sentence, there are 3 helping verbs in simple present tense. There is, am, and are, right? Is used with singular, right? If you don't know what singular means, it's like one. Am is used with I mostly, right? When you're talking about yourself. And of course, are is used with plural. Very simple. This is something that's very, very basic, right? So helping verbs, what are they? They basically support the main verbs or help the main verbs, right? And the 3 helping verbs that you have to remember when it comes to simple present tenses is, am, are. Is used with singular, am is used with I, and are is used with plural. Hmm? So we got what exactly is simple present tense. We got what are the helping verbs for simple present tense. Now we're going to try and understand how do we convert from active to passive and what exactly happens, right? Sorry, what is the structure of simple present tense? What is the structure of simple present tense? This is what it is. I'm coming to it, don't worry, right? So active voice, he writes a letter. We'll just take one example to understand what is happening, right? He writes a letter, right? So here he is the, I'm gonna really break it down like a lot. He writes a letter. Writes is basically the verb, right? Now we know it is a simple past tense because there is a writes here, right? He writes a letter. It's a sentence which is happening in the present. He writes a letter and letter is the object. Now एक ही example दूंगी, so please make sure that you pay attention. He writes a letter में he is the subject, writes is the verb and letter is the object. Now, when you're converting from active to passive voice, I want you to remember all the 5 rules that we did in yesterday's session, right? So, when we are converting from active to passive, subject and object interchange places, right? So, object is going to come first. So, here, a letter is coming first, right? Because subject and object change places when we are converting from active to passive, right? Another rule that you already know, I will underline this, right? So subject comes here, right? Subject comes later, subject and object interchanged places. Another thing that I told you about, writes becomes written because we are using which form of verb? We are using the V3 form of verb or the past participle form of verb, right? So subject and object changes places, check. Have I written the past participle form of the verb? Check. Yes. Now you will notice is here. Now is written is the verb, helping verb is. Why am I using is? Because एक ही letter की बात हो रही है guys. Letters होता तो मैं use करती are, right? If we are talking about plural, we are going to use are. If we are talking about one thing, you're going to use is. Very straightforward, right? So you can see we use all the rules together to when we're converting from active to passive, right? For example, here, why am I using are? Is because we're talking about ice creams. We're talking about plural. We're talking about plural, so I'm going to use are. I am. What do you use with I? Which helping verb do you use with I? You use am, right? So make sure that you remember all the 5 rules from before when you're converting any sentence from active to passive, right? So this is an example for simple present tense. Subject object change places, verb change. I hope this is better. I feel like there's so much lag issue. It's horrible. Cool. Now I hope it's working better now. So what we're going to look at is the present continuous tense, right? So what we looked at just now was simple present tense. We are going to look at present continuous tense, right? I hope you guys can see me and hear me now. Whenever there is a lag, guys, or if there is a voice issue, please write it in the comment section so I'm able to rectify it ASAP. Otherwise, we will lose time. Now, when we're talking about an action that is happening, where is my cursor? Wow. When we're talking about an action that is happening right now, it emphasizes that the action is happening at the moment. All right. Let me ask you a very simple question. What are you doing right now? Right? So either you are typing, either you are chatting, either you are learning, right? For example, I am teaching. We are learning. You are typing. I am writing, right? That kind of rhymes. I did not think about it. What I want you to think about is present continuous tense talks about an action that is happening right now, right? It emphasizes कि action अभी चल रहा है, right? Present tense में है chill, but it is also going on right now, or an action that is happening at the moment. I am teaching, we are learning. It's a continuous action, right? So guys, whenever you think about present continuous tense, make sure that you always remember it is an action that is happening, right? So it's an action which is continuing in the present. Now, what exactly are the helping verb that I want you to remember in context with present continuous tense, right? So remember for simple present tense, we had is, am, are. Same thing here. The only thing that's adding on is the word being here. So is being, are being, and am being. It's that simple. right? Isn't that super simple? I think when students or when anybody thinks about active and passive voice, when I used to think about active and passive voice when I was a kid in school, I used to be like, oh my god, this is so scary. How do I convert? Guys, it's actually very simple. When you look at the rules and when you look at how it's done, then you're gonna be a pro at it. Anyway, now that I'm done giving that motivation talk, let's move forward with present continuous tense. Right? Helping verbs for present continuous tense are is being, am being, and are being. Now we have to look at one example to understand how present continuous tense works. Guys, if you Ronald, good morning. Hi, I saw you yesterday. It's nice to see you. Also, guys, if you have any doubts, you can write it in the chat box. It's literally on my left, so I can solve your doubts. Okay, for active voice, present continuous tense. He is singing a song. Now, how do I even know that it is a present continuous tense ka sentence? Is present tense. Singing is continuous. So that makes it a present continuous tense ka sentence. Now you know how to identify them, right? So he is the, let's take a look bit by bit. This he is the subject because Gana kaun ga raha hai, right? Singing is the what? What is singing? Singing is the verb, which is the action, and a song is the object, right? Because ga kya raha hai? Song. So when we are converting from active voice to passive voice, you already know subject and object interchange places. So object comes first, which basically means a song comes first. Okay? Now sing, sang, sung, right? We are not using the ing form. We are going to be using the V3 form of the verb. We already know that, right? And subject becomes the this becomes subject, right? Subject comes later in the sentence because we're interchanging places. Now I want you to think about this. Now is हमने as copy paste कर लिया, but we have to add a being because we're talking about present continuous tense. So अगर ये simple present tense होता तो is लगा के चल जाता, but अगर present continuous tense है, then you have to add is being, am being, and are being. Right? So whenever we're converting from active to passive voice, these are some things that you have to keep in mind. Right? So let's quickly recap. What was for present continuous tense was is, am, and are. I hope I'm not writing it on my image. Right? And then for present continuous tense, you know there is being, am being, and are being. Right? So why do I want you to remember these helping verbs? Because guys, if you don't remember the helping verbs, exam में मैम आपको list देंगी नहीं कि बेटा इसके लिए helping verb ये है. No, you will have to remember it yourself. Otherwise, you will not be able to convert a sentence from active to passive voice. Cool. So we are done with, let's do a did we get it question. Quickly, some of you are, example 3 is wrong. Lena, could you help ma'am and tell why example 3 is wrong in the chat box, which will be very helpful. Did we get it question is basically your version of understanding कि आपको समझ में आया या नहीं आया. Is being a helping verb is a helping verb for simple present tense. Is it true or false? Mannat is already like, ma'am, it's false. Uh, false. Harsha, hi. Nice to see you. Nirbhaya, yes, it's false. Yes, guys, absolutely false. Is being is a helping verb for present continuous tense, not for simple present tense. Only is a helping verb for simple present tense. Now that I'm saying it, I think I sound a little weird, but that's okay. That's how English grammar is. Ronali, I am good. Can you please try apply green screen, please? Do you not like the background? It's actually my bookshelf. I'm very proud of this bookshelf. But I'll will definitely see if I can get a green screen. I don't have one. So that is why I haven't applied it. Otherwise, you will only be able to see my face, which is also okay. Cool. Alright. Let's move on to the next quiz. 5 questions. I hope I have tagged all the right answers in this one and I'm not going to embarrass myself on the internet. Guys, this is the quiz link 7330818. Right? Yes. Halsa Sharma, there is a mentee. I feel like you're only here for that, which is also good. So, guys, 7330818. I'm gonna chill for the next couple of seconds because it takes you a little time to actually go on that platform. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait patiently. Right? Yes, Hacker Bunny, I'm hoping that you are gonna kill it, not literally, metaphorically. Yes, and Suhani, hi, nice to see you. Now let's go to the Menti quiz. Hopefully, it's gonna work out, right? All right, let's get started, and then we are going to, guys. The code is 7330818. In case you don't know what Menti quiz is, it's basically a website that you go to. You add on the code, and then you can become a part of a live quiz, which I think honestly is so much fun. I think this is the most fun thing we do in these sessions, other than, of course, learning a lot, because that's important. All right, I can see a unicorn, I can see some hearts which have been added. I think my favorite is the donut, because I'm a foodie. I love that donut, banana, the strawberry, and there's a lollipop which was added. Great. All right, let's wait for I am a donut. Yes, Atul, you're the donut. I love the donut. All right, guys, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm the alien. Okay, I like the alien too. I'm not against it. All right. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's move on with the quiz. Hopefully everybody else will join. Okay. I hope this works fine. Ah, what do you mean by there's no leaderboard? Start with the first question. Why is there a first? Let's ignore that. I'm not able to understand what this means. I brush my teeth every day. That's a sentence. You have to tell me, is it a simple present tense or is it a present continuous tense sentence? Right now, this is why am I even doing this? Because it's very important for you to identify key sentence kaun sa tense ka hai. Otherwise, you'll not be able to convert it into a passive sentence. Very simple, right? One of the cubes is yellow. Most of us said it's a present continuous tense. Guys, no, it is simple present tense. I am brushing my teeth. That is a present continuous tense. Present continuous tense or continuous tense has an ing. Guys, no. Let's move on to the. I think you'll be able to say, I'm Sneha here. I'm Sneha ni Neha. Wow, I'm reading wrong now. All right. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Fastest, Neha, you were the fastest. So congratulations on that. Because I think you get points for being really, really fast on this platform, which is a thing. All right, move on to next question. I think we skipped question number 1. My bad. I'm sorry. Why is it showing the leaderboard? I want to go to the question. Okay, I want to see if I can. I don't think I can. I think we'll just come back to these questions whenever we have the time next. I dash to go to the party tonight. It's a fill in the blank. Is planning, are planning, am planning. Please remember I के साथ कौन सा helping verb use होता है, guys. Please always remember that. Also, next time I'll make sure that I know how to operate this better, because I feel like there are so many questions I'm skipping. Oh, yes, 34 of us gave the correct answer, guys. Proud of you. Ma'am, it's bug hacker. Hacker bunny, it's not bugged. All right. Great, guys. Yes, I am planning. I के साथ हमेशा helping verb जो होता है am आता है. Are is for plural, is for singular. Please remember that. Let's see, based on the Adha Cheetah quiz that we're doing here, who's leading. Neha, are you still leading? Is something that I want to see. Ooh, Carapes, I don't know how to pronounce it, but you're the fastest. So great job on that. Right? Last question. We only did 3 questions, I think, from this. Why? He sings a song, convert to passive voice. It's an active sentence, right? You have to convert it into a passive voice. So remember, the song, which is the object, is going to come in the start, right? So both sub में common है, right? But then I want you to think about is आएगा, am आएगा, या are आएगा in the passive voice sentence. 38 of us have given the answer. Most of us have given the correct answer. I'm very proud of myself. I'm proud of you. I'm kidding. A song is being sung by him, right? A song, which is basically what? Basically object. So object is going to come at the start. He becomes, which is the subject, comes later. Is being, because in present continuous tense you use is being, am being, and are being. Oof. Guys, let's see who's leading on the leaderboard based on the 3 questions that we did out of the 5 questions that we intended to do. which is, I think, a mess. That's okay. Ooh, hi everybody! Congratulations. You're the alien. Yeah, you're the alien emoji. I love the alien emoji. Being sentenced. Yes. Of course. Congratulations, guys. Okay, cool. Let's move on with this session because we are going to understand a little bit about past tense, and then we are going to move on to another quiz. Hopefully, in which we do at least 4 questions out of the 5 questions which are actually there, which is a mess. But that's cool. All right, let's talk about simple past tense. Now, if you're wondering about why do we need to talk about simple past tense, is because it comes right after simple future tense. No, simple present tense. Okay, wow. Okay, now when exactly do we refer to simple past tense? When we talk about an action that happened or existed before now, the tenses emphasize that the action is finished. ठीक है पास्ट में हुआ था एक एक्शन हुआ था फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई एट ब्रेकफास्ट मैं अभी भी ब्रेकफास्ट खा रही हूँ ब्रेकफास्ट खत्म हो गया 10 बजे से पहले ही हो गया था इनफैक्ट राइट सो whenever we're talking about simple past tense we're talking about an action that happened and it finished. Please guys, this is the key word here, finished. There was an action which happened and it finished in the past. You have to remember that because that is the main difference between simple past tense and past continuous tense. Yes. Now, what is the helping verb? You already know. You have to remember the helping verb for any tense. Helping verb to used in passive voice is basically was ya were. Right? Now, was is used with singular. Were is used with plural. Mind my handwriting, it's really bad. Just a disclaimer. Right? So, was is used with singular and were is used with plural. Always, always, always remember that. So, simple past tense ka helping verb was used with singular, were used with plural. Now, let's look at one example to understand how to identify simple past tense sentences and how to convert them from active to passive. There's a lot of action going on in the chat box. I ain't reading it, guys. I'm sorry, I was just concentrating. Last question, please explain. Learn with fun. Could you write the last question for me in the chat box so I can explain? Because I think I forgot. Cool. कहाँ से belong करते हो मुकेश? I belong to Delhi. You let me know where do you belong to. Right now I'm in Delhi and it's freakish hot. It's very hot. Anyway, simple past tense. Let's come back to it. I don't want to disrupt the flow. Right? So let's take it one by bit. He bought a car. He is the subject. Right? Because car kisne kharidi? He. A car is the object. Very simple and it has a verb, bought. Now, if you think about it, this is a simple past. This is the V2 form of the verb. So whenever a sentence has a V2 form of the verb, you know it is a simple past tense ka sentence. So you know this is your V2 form of the verb. Now I already know, bhaiya, this is a simple past tense ka sentence. Now I'm going to convert this active sentence into a passive one. Same rules you have to remember. Subject and object are going to interchange places. So when we are converting from active to passive, car, which is the object, comes pehle, right? And he becomes him, comes later, right? Now we already know ki buy is a word which we can add in a passive voice sentence. Now bought ka remains bought because I think this is the same. This is the V3 form of the verb also. They remain the same. V2 and V3 form of the verb are the same. Then we add was. Why? Because car is singular, right? She helped them. They were helped by her. Here we are using were because they is plural. Very simple. Whenever you're talking about singular things, use was as a helping verb. Whenever you're talking about plural things, use were as the helping verb. Yes. So object and subject changes places. Change the form of the verb into V3 form of the verb, which is the past participle form of the verb, and then decide कि भैया ये singular है, plural है. अगर singular है तो was लगाना है before the verb, and अगर plural है then you have to include were before the verb, right? All right. Somebody had any question? He sings a song convert to passive. A song is sung by him. Learn with fun. That is what is going to be in passive voice. Right? Now, of course, before we do the next Menti, we have to understand a little bit about past continuous tense as well. Now, simple past tense is very straightforward. It is talking about an action that happened in the past but finished. Now, here we're talking about when we talk about an action that is continuing at some point in the past, right? And it emphasizes that the action is not finished. What do I mean by that? When you think about simple past tense, you think about an action जो past में start हुआ और past में खत्म हो गया. But when you're talking about past continuous tense, you're talking about an action which started in the past and continued in the past, right? So it continued. I was eating breakfast, right? It is in the past, was aa raha hai, but it was an action that was happening for some time in the past, right? Now, what are the helping verbs? Same as present continuous tense. यहाँ पे is being, am being and are being आता है. यहाँ पे you're gonna get was being and were being. Simple. Was is going to be used for singular and were is going to be used for plural. In case you were wondering, yes, there are a lot of things that you need to keep in mind when you are converting a sentence from active to passive. So let me quickly recap everything. Where is my marker? All right. So simple present tense was, is, am, are. Just a quick recap. The present continuous tense was, is being, am being, and are being. Right? Cool. For past tense, simple past tense, it was and were. Was with singular, were with plural. And for past continuous tense is and was being and were being. Right? Let's take a look at some one sentence to understand how this works out, because if you don't understand the workings of it, then it's going to become very, very difficult. Also, guys, I'll tell you one trip tip to basically make sure how you can ace active and passive voice or anything like indirect and direct speech also. Right? She was eating an apple. She is the subject because apple kaun kha raha hai? She. Right? Was eating. How do I even know this is a past continuous tense? Was से मुझे पता चल रहा है कि ये sentence past tense का है. Right? Now eating is continuous. जब भी ing होता है guys, continuous always means ing. Like straightforward. You don't even have to think about it. Whenever you come across, oh, okay, interesting. A lot of things happening on the chat box. Not looking at it. I'm sorry. I'll look at it in a bit. Right? So she's the subject because she's eating. She's doing the action. How do I know it is a past continuous tense ka sentence? You know that was is past. So now I know it's past. I don't know whether it's continuous. When I look at the word eating, it has an ing. Right? Then I know it is a past continuous tense ka sentence. Right? An apple is basically the object because what is being eaten? An apple. Right? So when we're converting from active to passive voice, object becomes pehle. Right? So an apple comes pehle and she becomes this by her. We already know that we can use the word by when we are converting from active to passive as an extra. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go and check the previous video which I did yesterday so you're better able to understand this lesson. Right? Now, eat ka past participle form or V3 form of the verb is eaten. Eat, ate, eaten. Right? So check mark and was being. That's it. Mic drop. Right? So why am I using was? Because I'm talking about an apple. I'm talking about one apple. When you're talking about singular, you're going to use was. When you're talking about plural, you're going to use were. Being the same rahega, har jagah. Cool. So an apple was being eaten by her. Now, when you actually think about it, it's actually very straightforward. Much more easier to understand than you would imagine. Right? So did we get it question? I want the answers in the chat box very, very quickly because you guys are super hardworking and fast, right? So past continuous tense talks about actions that have ended in the past. Is it true or false? I'm gonna wait. Hacker Bunny's like, man, please stop spamming. Okay, I'm gonna wait for the answer. Oh, somebody says, Harshil, do you think it's true? Okay, interesting. All right, Shushmita says it's false. Geeta says it's false. Most of us are like, oh, ma'am, she wants a toy. A toy is. Are you fun with a fun person? Are you making me do your homework? Yes, guys, it's absolutely, absolutely false. Past continuous tense is used to talk about an action that continue in the past for some time. I was eating breakfast, right? You were studying yesterday. It is an action which happened in the past, but it happened for a span of time, right? So you have to remember that past continuous tense talks about actions which have continued in the past for some time. Simple past tense talks about an action which started in the past and ended in the past, right? So the answer is absolutely false. Good job, guys. Thank you so much for being amazing and awesome in the chat box. Now I'm going to wait for the next 30 seconds for you to join this quiz, which is 990346. Right? So join the quiz and we are going to get started with the next round of quiz. Hopefully we can cover more questions here. There are 5 questions. We only covered 2 or 3, but I want to cover at least 4 or 5 questions, all of it. Thank you, Deepshika. I'm pretty sure you're also very cute. Right? Mukesh, thank you so much for letting me know where you stay. All right, let's get started with this quiz. Let me discard the ink annotations and then we are going to get started with the. By the way, Hacker Bunny guys won the last quiz. So just giving an update to everybody. Right? Let's see how many of us are joining and then we are going to get started. I'm going to wait for a couple of more. Oh, there's a birthday cake and there's a snowman. Hacker Bunny, I can see you. Your alien emoji is there. I can see a pup. I can see a rock symbol, and I can see a crab. Cool. I think are good to go. Hi, Akash. Aksh. I can't pronounce names. This is embarrassing. Oh, donut is here. Let's start. Atul, I think you're the donut. Cool. Let's get started. Oh, there's a froggy also. These emojis are very cute. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's amazing. Cool. Answer fast to get more points. That's how it works, apparently. They were delivering the letters. You have to convert it into passive voice. They were delivering the letters. Now I realize I've given very less time. I should have given 30 seconds. But आपके पास सिर्फ 5 seconds बचे हैं. The letters were being delivered by them. That is the correct answer. The letters were being delivered. Were the letters? Oh, actually, that's the wrong answer. You know why? Because here we are talking about the letter. It's singular. So the letter was being delivered by them. That's the correct answer. Miss also got it wrong. Because you know what? Just like you, I thought it is plural. That's the catch, guys. Now you understand why this quiz is a little difficult, because you need to read the question very, very properly. Right, guys? Very, very properly. You need to read the question properly. What I'm trying to say is, you made the same mistake I made. I thought it was letters. No, it's letter. It's singular. So I will use was and not were. The letter was being delivered by them. Gotcha. Just saying. Okay, let's see what is the leaderboard saying. Harshil, are you leading? I want to see. Naman, cool. My name is Andreena. Nice to see you too. Okay, Harshil is the one who is leading. Let's move on. Wow. I want to move on to the next question. I'll have to figure how to do this. Fastest, yes, I got it. But yes, the quiz is not ended. Let me check this. I want to start with the second question. How do I start with the second question? Wow, taking an enormous amount of time. Second question. I'm going to start with that. Yes, got it. Oh my god, that took too much time. Cool. Let's move on to understanding what exactly is the second question, which is still not showing. Very irritating to work with this. Either I'm doing something wrong or the software is doing something wrong. Let's move on to the third question, even if it is third question. Cool. It's not happening. Do you guys, what's going on here? Hacker Bunny, even I have no idea. Yeah. I wanted the quiz to work properly, but it's not working properly. Sad face. Let me refresh and see if I can work with it. Will you be able to answer this question? Yeah, I think this is the question which is working, which is the last question. He dashed a novel last year. Option number 3 is not written. Option number 3 is not there actually. It's just either was or were writing. I'm so sorry, guys. I'll have to. What is this? Even I don't know, Hacker Bunny. I'll have to just wait and see. Was somebody gave the answer as option number 3? Guys, option number 3 में तो कुछ था ही नहीं. Why? Was writing a novel last year. That is the correct answer. I think we need to. I think I need to understand how to function this better. I think this is really disappointing. Okay, cool. Bhaskar, you were the fastest. Interesting. Is there any more questions that shows up? And if not, then we'll just have 2 more quizzes for the day and then we're done. Who is winning? I want to see that. Cheating so much. I'm not cheating, Harshil. I'm not able to function with this software. That is what is happening. According to the 2 questions that we had, Akhil, Pal, good job. Everybody else, I'm not cheating. It's just very difficult to work with that software, or I'm not able to understand how to. Let's quickly understand future. This is not a lot, so we're gonna go to the quiz very soon, and then you can redeem yourself and say things like, yes, I did it. Cool. Guys, we have 30 more minutes, so let's understand perfect tenses and simple future tense as well. Right. So when we're talking about simple future tense, we talk about actions, of course, which have not happened yet. And we are basically saying that the action will start in the future and end in the future. Right? What exactly does that mean? It basically means that if you think about future as a timeline. So this is, oh wow, I'm not able to draw a straight line. This is what the timeline is in the future. You're basically saying an action will start in the future and end in the future. This is your action happening. Right? So whenever we're talking about simple future tense or any simple tense, I want you to think about कि action present past या future में start हुआ and it ended in the present past or future. Right? It's not continuous. What about the helping verb that we use for simple future tense? The helping verb that we use is will be. Right? So will be is the helping verb that we use for simple future tense. Right? Now let's look what is happening in Menti Fun with Learn. I have no idea. I'm disappointed too. Right. So when we're converting a simple future tense from active voice to passive voice, what exactly happens? Right. Let's take a look at the first sentence. He will write a letter. He is subject. Right. A letter is the object. Right. You exactly know. If you don't know what that is, go check out the last video. Right. Then there is write, which is basically the verb. And there is will. Now, when there is a will in a particular sentence, you know it is a future tense sentence. That is how you identify simple future tense sentences, right? So whenever you come across a sentence which has a will or a shall, then you know it is a simple future tense ka sentence or a future tense ka sentence. Now, what exactly happens when we try to convert this from active into passive, right? Subject and object will change places. So the object will come here, right? And subject will come here, him. And then, of course, you already know that you include a by word, right? You already know that you do that. Write ka V3 form is written. So I've written it here. Sorry, did you get the pun? Anyway, and then will के साथ मेरे को be add करना है बस. Will तो पहले से ही था ना. If you notice here, will तो पहले से ही था. So will के साथ सिर्फ be add करना है यहाँ पे. So will be, right? So whenever you think about future tense, you want to think about will be. Will is most probably going to be there. The only thing that you have to add is be, right? So simple future tense, how will you identify it as a simple future tense? There is a will which is going to be there and with the V1 form of the verb, right? Agar ing hai, so that's going to be continuous, right? Guys, please stop. Stop spamming, guys. Also, don't spam. Everybody is trying to learn here. Let's try not to disrupt each other's learning experiences, and it's a lot of fun when it's peaceful. Right? So future continuous tense, when we talk about an action that will begin in the future and continue for an unexpected duration of time. I will be studying later. I will be studying later. मतलब मैं पढ़ रही होंगी future में कितने बजे से कितने बजे तक मैंने बताया नहीं. This is what we usually say. I will be doing my homework. I don't know how much time it will take. So whenever we're talking about an action that will start in the future and continue for some time in the future is basically a future continuous tense. बाद में ही start होगा और बाद में थोड़े time के लिए चलेगा. Right? Now the trick here is it cannot be converted into a passive voice. So you get a leeway here. So future continuous tense cannot be converted into passive voice. Can somebody quickly let me know in the comment section why? Why is that even happening? Why is a future continuous tense cannot be converted into a passive voice sentence? Let me know, and let me know how many of you actually know the answer. Try not to Google it. Use your brain and let me know what do you think. Now, did we get it? Question? Quickly let me know the answers to this in the chat box. I'll wait for 30 seconds or so. Future or a minute actually. Future continuous tense can be converted into passive voice. True or false? Geeta says you can't add by. Sushmita says I have no idea. Alright. Quickly let me know what do you think. Future continuous tense can be converted into passive voice. Is it true or false? Because it is future. Alright. Anshika Tandon, my name is Andreena. Nice to see you too. Right? Yes. Of course, guys. It is false. Future tense, continuous tense cannot be converted into passive voice. So the answer is going to be false. Simple future tense, yes. Will be is going to be the helping verb there, so it can be converted into a passive voice sentence. Alright, are we ready for another quiz? I hope. I'm so sorry, guys. The quiz thing is not working out today. I'm disappointed in myself too. Right? So I'm gonna wait till you join the quiz. It's 6640278. Let's give Shrishti. Why is it not converted? Bala, you let me know in the chat box why is it not converted. This is going to be the challenge for the day. I want to know if you can figure out why future continuous tense cannot be converted into passive voice. Right? Vikash, not a nice thing to say anywhere, much less on the comment section. So let's not say things like that. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. You also have a nice name, Lena. All right. Either your name is Lena or I am definitely did not notice when you wrote your real name. Okay. Let's try to understand if this quiz is going to work. I think it should. Right? So 6640278 is the quiz. I'm new. Where will we give the quiz? Anushka, you have to go to this website called www.menti.com. It's showing on the screen, and you have to type in this code, which is 6640278. I'm still gonna wait for a couple of minutes, a minute, for everybody to add up. There is a penguin who has joined us. There is a koala bear. There is a puffish. There is a dragon. I don't know who the dragon is. I can see. I can see that there is an emoji as well. All right. Okay, root. Where you are the root? Where's the root? I can't see you, Hacker Bunny. Cool. I'm just super. Of course, you're super too. Somebody is the flower. Swarna, you're the flower. Nice to see you. Oh yeah, there's a flower there. I just spotted. I was like, yeah, it's there's the flower. All right. Let's wait for one more person, then we'll join. Hopefully it will go well. If it doesn't, I don't know what I'll do with myself. Okay, cool. Let's start. Please enter to start countdown. Okay. Answer fast to get more points. I will be going to the market today. I will be going to the market today. Is it a simple future tense or future continuous tense? Simple future, future continuous. There are 40 kids who have joined, guys. Everybody has to give the answer. Let's be very, very fast about it. Yes. 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are done. Time's up. Let's see how everyone has voted. Congratulations, guys. Everyone voted. Will be going. Will be going, guys. It's a future continuous tense. Going. G-O-I-N-G. I-N-G. जब भी ing sentence में आता है, it has to be continuous tense. Why? Asmita, you're absolutely correct. Give yourself some pat on the backs. 21 of you gave the correct answer, which is basically half. I hope this is better. There is some random lag. Okay, cool. Got it. Let's see. Yes, guys, it's buffering. Should I just write it in the chat box that I'll be back? Yes, here we are. Fitji Harshal, you are the fastest, which is great. Let's move on to the next question. Right? Let's move on to the next question. Fast answers, of course, get more points, so make sure that you're fast. I will buy a car someday. I think the question is it a simple future tense or a future continuous tense? I want to see everybody who is participating in this quiz to actually respond. If you're not going to respond, then don't participate in the quiz. That's not fun at all. What's the point of being a part of the class and not having a quiz? Right? So everybody did not respond, I think. Oh, but 30 of us, majority of us are correct. So give yourself some pat on the back. You guys are amazing. I will buy a car someday. Guys, there's no ing here. So it's not a continuous tense ka sentence. Let's see. Let's load the results. Let's see who is leading the board after the second question. Hacker Bunny, what is the lol for? All right. Yes. Akhil, you were the fastest, but I think Harshal is still leading the board. Let's move on to question number 3. Right, the countdown has started. Of course, we already know fastest answer are going to get more points, which basically means that your internet connection has to be very, very decent. Unlike mine, he will deliver the cake. Convert to passive sentence. He will deliver the cake. The cake is going to come at the first, right? So if you look at the 4 options, the last 2 options are already out because it is talking about plural, right? Guys, you have to give. Oh, yes, Lena, you are absolutely correct. The cake will be delivered by him is the correct option. Will be, guys, will ke sath be add ho jata hai when we're converting a simple future tense sentence from active to passive. Let's see who is leading the leaderboard, and then we're going to move on to the fourth question. Okay, cool. Harshal, I'm so sorry that there is a lag. All right. Ooh, high five, ma'am. High five to you too. I guess you're clearly leading the board, right? Let's move on to the next question, which is question number 4. Why is it loading results? No results loading. I want the question. Fastest answers, of course, get better points. My homework will be done by me. Convert to active voice. My homework will be done by me. Guys, you have to remember, me converts into I when you're converting from passive to active. So here we are converting from passive to active. Not everybody. Oh, hi. I will do my homework. Yes, this is the correct active voice. 21 of us gave the correct answer. I will do homework. Is my bhi to hai yahan pe. Right? You also have to include my. Guys, one thing I want to make sure is that if you are becoming a part of this quiz, make sure that you reply so you have a lot more fun. Right? Let's see who is leading the leaderboard, and then we're going to move on to the last quiz of the day. Right? Akhil, you're leading. Akhil, internet connection, and you're super hardworking. So I think the combination is killer. Let's move on to question number 5 of 5. Fastest answer get more points. He will help me convert to passive voice. Me becomes I when you're converting from active to passive, and passive to active, I becomes me. So that change you have to remember. Hacker Bunny, why didn't you participate in the quiz? Why? Most of us gave the answer, and most of us gave the correct answer. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of me too, strangely, because I'm like, you got the correct answer. I will be helped by him. When you're converting a simple future tense from active to passive, will के साथ be add हो जाता है. Please मत भूल जाना exam में. Let's see who's leading the leaderboard. I'm so excited for it. इस वाले quiz में हमने सारे 5 questions attempt करे हैं, so I'm so proud and I'm so happy that you guys are here at 11:15 on a Thursday morning. Oh, high five to you too. High five. You are leading the board by 4,785 points. Amazing. You guys, we need to take inspiration from high five, ma'am. I can't pronounce this name. Can't. My apologies. My language skills are limited here. Cool. What we're going to do is we are going to quickly summarize with a past perfect tense. Then I'm going to tell you कि assignment वगैरह कहाँ मिलेंगे for this session, ताकि please भैया please practice कर लेना, because that is the tip that I will give you before the session ends. Yes, Anushka, congratulations. You are fourth. Logical classes, you are second. Not bad. Congratulations. Now, when exactly do we talk about perfect tense? Right? When we talk about an action that occurred for an indefinite period in the past or started in the past and continued till the present. Right? So, perfect present, where is the perfect present tense? I want you to think about as a timeline. ठीक है टाइमलाइन जो टाइम टेबल होता है ना स्कूल में कि सुबह के 7 बजे से लेके दोपहर के 2 बजे तक समथिंग लाइक दैट आई वांट यू टू थिंक अबाउट अ टाइमलाइन और अ टाइम टेबल नाउ परफेक्ट प्रेजेंट टेंस टॉक्स अबाउट एन एक्शन जो कि पास्ट में स्टार्ट हुआ let me show off my drawing skills here past में there is an action which started and it continued in the present. These are the actions that we're talking about when we're talking about present perfect tense. An action that started in the past but continued till the present. So we're talking about both. But is it past tense? No. It's present perfect tense. That is all I want you to remember. Action started in the past but it continued till the present. Now, here the helping verb is very straightforward. It is has or have been. What is the difference? Has is used with singular, have is used with plural or I, right? कभी भी आप जिंदगी में I has नहीं बोलोगे, गलत है. I have, right? I have been working really hard. I have been studying so hard. Like I has is wrong, guys. Don't use that. Even though I is sort of singular, you're only talking about one person, no? But has only comes with singular, have comes with plural and I. I want you to remember that. उसके साथ with perfect tense, you are going to add been, has been and have been. Let's look at an example to understand it a little bit better. You need to pay attention here, otherwise you will not be able to attempt the last quiz that we have, and I really want to see who is going to perform amazing on the last quiz. Yes. Ridhi, you are a new student. I am also very, very new here. So, cool. Good wala morning. Deepshika, same to you. I have cleaned my room. Here, I is the subject, right? My room is the object क्योंकि मैंने clean क्या किया है. I have cleaned my room, right? Cleaned is the action और cleaned is the verb. Now has and have से मुझे पता चल जाएगा कि ये present perfect tense का sentence है, right? So whenever you come across a sentence which has or have, you know it's a present perfect tense ka sentence. Now, when I'm converting this sentence from active to passive, you already know subject and object interchange places. So the object comes here starting में. Then we have I का becomes, मैंने अभी भी quiz के time पे बताया था ना, I का becomes me. So this is the subject. By is something that we already add. Clean का V3 form is cleaned. And my room, singular या plural? Are we talking about room or are we talking about rooms? We are talking about one. So has been. क्योंकि मैंने बताया था has is used with singular. My mother has been called by her. Her mother has been called by her. Right? I have been called by her. राइट आई के साथ आएगा हैव. प्लीज वो मत भूल जाना बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स स्टूडेंट्स लाइक मैम आई तो सिंगुलर है तो उसके साथ हैज क्यों नहीं. इट हैज टू बी हैव एंड नॉट हैज. So make sure that you don't forget it. Let's quickly talk about past perfect tense. Right? My tick mark did not go well. When we talk about an action that was completed before some time in the past. Now these tenses are a little bit tricky to understand. Now I want you to think about a past timeline. Right? Okay, I have no idea what's happening on the chat box. Cool. So I want you to think about the past ka timeline. कि एक point, this is a point in the past. Your action finished before this point. Right? Action हो रहा था, but पहले एक point था, उस point से पहले ही action खत्म हो गया. Now you might be wondering like, ma'am, why would you even say something so confusing? Let's try to understand. Helping verb identify करके let's try to understand with an example. Had been, very simple. यहाँ पे तो has have का चक्कर ही नहीं है, सिर्फ had है और से लगाना है. Right? So had been is the helping verb for past perfect tense. Right? Let's take a look at an example. He had finished the work. Subject. The work is object. Finished is the verb. Right? And finished से और had से मुझे पता चल रहा है this is a past perfect tense का sentence. Right? all I have to do is interchange places between subject and object. So this becomes here, my object comes starting में, he का becomes him, and by में ऐसे by I can add, and of course finished V3 form of the verb, and had के साथ लग गया been. That's it. The work had been finished by him. The parcel had been delivered by them. Right? So whenever you think about past perfect tense, I want you to think about had been. Whenever you think about present perfect tense, I want you to think about has or have been. Right? Cool. I just showed a thumbs up to myself. Great. Future perfect tense. When we talk about an action that will be completed at some point in the future. So here I want you to think about a future timeline. कि अभी नहीं हो रहा, ये बाद में होगा. Right? An action will be completed at some point in the future. Now this is at some point in the future. My action will be completed at this point in the future. Right? Is it happening right now? No. But is it going to be completed later on? Right? So future perfect tense talks about an action which will be completed at some point in the future. Right? Guys, there's a Menti quiz coming. Don't worry if that's what you're writing on the chat box. But that Menti quiz is going to be based on this. So if you don't understand this, you will not be able to attempt the quiz. Helping verb that is used here is will have been. That's it. यहाँ पे भी again there is no singular plural, no that much fuss, कोई झमेला नहीं है. It's very simple forward. Had been for past perfect tense and will have been for future perfect tense. Right? He will have received the letter. Now इससे मुझे पता चल रहा है this is basically a future perfect tense. Right? He will have. Now the letter will have been. The only thing that you have to add is been. That's it. All right. When is the Menti? Ananya, wait for 2 minutes. No, don't worry. All right. Shukla, welcome to the class. You asked me to tell your name and I did. I hope you are happy with that. Yes. So guys, when we're converting from active to passive, there are a lot of things that you need to keep in mind, but I would advise you to make sure that you are paying attention to all the rules that we have revised. If you don't know what are the first 5 basic rules, then you need to go back to the previous video, check that out, and then come back to this video. Let's move on to did we get it? Right? So will have been is used as a helping verb for simple future tense. True or false? Shantanu, passive voice is opposite of active voice. Uh, it's not opposite of active voice. No, there are just two ways to express an action. Active voice means direct, and passive voice may the meaning remains the same. Only the sentence structure changes. Right? Quickly, let me know. Will have been is used for as a helping verb for simple future tense. Somebody saying it's true. Why? Guys, it's false. Will have been is used as a helping verb for not future simple future tense, is used as a helping verb for future perfect tense. Will have been. Oh my god. अभी भी तो किया था. Will have been. That is used for future perfect tense, not for simple future tense. Somebody said true. Guys, no, it's false. All right, let's do the last quiz and then मैम सेक्शन सिर्फ 1 घंटे के लिए ना, as in this is a 1.5 hour long session, Nirja, that is why. All right, let's Lena, that's completely chill. Let's get started with the quiz. I'm gonna wait. The quiz the quiz code is 2543512. This is going to be the last quiz, and then we are going to end the session by summarizing because we only have 8 minutes left. Hi Farza, nice to see you. The IPL on Star Sports at 7:30. I am not an IPL fan, but if I was, I would see it. All right, let's move on to the quiz. I wanna see how many of us are there. This is the last quiz, and then we are going to end. By the way, guys, last time Paramveer, got it. He was the one who won the quiz. So let's see how many of us are joining, and then we're gonna get started. 2543512. Guys, this is the last quiz, so I'm expecting a lot of fun, and I want to see who's going to win the last quiz of the day. Quiz is not open. Oh, that's completely fine, Deepshika. Don't worry. All right. I'm waiting for a couple of more to join, guys. The quiz ID is, oh, I think James Bond just joined our quiz. 2543512 is the code that you're going to use to join the quiz, and then we are going to summarize the session before we end the session for today. There is a volcano, looks pretty angry. There is a bee. There is a crown. The donut is an all-time favorite. I think that's Atul. Yes, I'm a sloth. Oh, you're the sloth. Oh, you're the pigeon and the sloth. Cute. All right, I want to wait for 5 more students, and then we're gonna get started with the quiz. Hacker Bunny, you've joined. You're the alien. I know. All right. Cool. All right. Let's wait for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lena, you're the James Bond. That's what I was wondering. I was like, who's that? Cool. I'm gonna get started with the quiz. Yes, there are 30, 35 of us, sort of. Okay. Answer fast to get more points. Uniforms are worn in many schools. Right? Now you have to tell me is which tense is it? Future perfect, simple present tense, present continuous tense, or simple past tense? This is a very simple question. If you know what I mean, it's a hint. Make sure that you give the correct answer, and even if you don't, that's chill, because we're here to learn. Always remember, make mistakes here, don't make mistakes in the question paper or in the exam. Women are women. Uniforms are worn in many schools. Guys, are worn. This tells you that is a simple present tense ka sentence. There's nothing fancy here. Right? Let's move on to see what exactly is the result, and then we are going to move forward with the next question. Niranjan Pandey. Hi Niranjan. It's been a long time since we have met. How are you doing? Let me know. Last time we met was I think couple of months back. Right? Harshal, you're still the fastest. Not bad, bache. Your internet connectivity and your brain both work at a very high speed. So that's good. All right, let's look at the next question. The homework will be done by tomorrow, I promise. This is what we say to our teachers when our teachers ask us for homework and we're like, ma'am, not done. The homework will be done by tomorrow, I promise. Is it a simple future, future perfect, future continuous, or simple present tense? Abhang, hi Abhang, it's really, really nice to see you. Oh, guys, will be done. Most of us say it's future perfect tense. Guys, future perfect tense, I don't. Homework will be done by tomorrow. I have a feeling it could be option number 2 as well. But could somebody tell me why exactly is it future perfect tense and not simple future? Because according to me, I thought it was a simple future tense. There is somebody who, Sangeeta, hi. Next to see you, nice to see you. Let's see who's leading the. Oh, okay, cool. All right, Neeraj, you're killing it. Not literally, metaphorically. Correct. Let's start with the third question. Okay. Oh, that's so nice. Hi, Manish. Hi, Manish. Nice to see you. My stolen wallet was found two. My wallet was found 3 days ago, not two. 3 days ago, guys. Ignore the 2 bit. You have to tell me which type of sentence is it. Now, why are we even doing this practice? Is because it's very important for you to understand that to identify the question if you're going to actually convert it from active to passive. I lost my train of thought. It's a simple past. Was found, right? You know it's a simple past when you using was ya were. All right, let's see. Hi Dubey, I don't know. I'm Santosh Amnisha. Anmish, nice to see you, Anmish. All right, most of us are Sajan, Pastas. You're the mouse or the cat. I don't know what that is, but congratulations. Let's move on to fourth question. Then we are going to go to the last question. They have watched, watered the garden, convert to passive voice. The garden right? So you know one of the options is already out because the letter will start with the garden because it's the object, and object comes first when we are converting from active to passive voice, right? All right, cool. The garden has been watered, but garden have been watered. Guys, garden collectively is going to be singular. That is why you need to write has and not have. The garden, अगर मैं बोलती the flowers is plural, उसके साथ have आएगा. But the garden is a collectively it's singular. So you need to use has. Alright, let's do the last question. Ananya, I can see Ananya is there. I can see Apurva, Garima, Anushka, Riddhi, Sambhavi, and Sajan. Sambhavi, leading the board. I just took your name and you were like, tip on top. Alright, last question. Let's see how many of us get it correctly. Alright, I dash my breakfast when I dash you. Now here, I want you to think about that there are two things. There is a past continuous and past tense in the same sentence. So you need to understand there are two blanks. One is past continuous and one is past tense. I was eating breakfast. Yes, you guys are absolutely correct. 50% of us gave the correct answer. I was eating when I heard you. So, guys, was eating and I hearing you? No. Heard is basically the past tense and this is past continuous tense in the same sentence. Now, if you're thinking कि ma'am ये नहीं हो सकता, ये हो सकता है, you can also get these questions at the exam. Very, very important to be aware of them. Also, I just figured out what I did wrong in the first three quizzes that we had. I was very impatient. I was clicking on enter. I think that is why we were not able to do a lot of questions. So I'm sorry. Sambhavi, congratulations. You did it. Your points are 3,241, followed by Paramveer and Sajan. And everybody, Riddhi, Apurva, Anushka, Nishti, Shivansh, and Garima. Congratulations, guys. You are amazing. Nishtha is also there, and Millie is also there. Congratulations, guys. You guys are amazing. Sambhavi, round of applause for you because you, of course, nailed the quiz, right? We are, I'm not going to do the summary slide, which basically means that we already have covered a lot of tenses today, right? Sambhavi, oh, logical class is your Sambhavi. Congratulations. Now, what I don't want you to forget is where is my highlighter? The highlighter. So, yes, make sure that you check out the assignment. Ma'am, where will I get the assignment? You're going to get it in the comment section once the video is over and the live chat is turned off. Make sure that you attempt it. Please make sure that you practice, practice, practice. This is the only tip I want to give you in relation to grammar. If you don't practice, you're not going to become better at it. Make sure that you download the schedule. That means what is the next topic that I'm going to be teaching, kaun se din, kaun se time, everything is going to be there. So make sure that you check out the schedule. Make sure that you keep a copy of the summary of the session. Now, I want you to come back to this video at some point, maybe in a day or two, whenever you have the exam. And actually, I will provide you the PDF. I want you to either print it out or, write something in your notebook where you summarize the session for yourself. So for this session, I will not give you the summary. You will write it for yourself. And my next class is on Saturday this week on articles at 5 o'clock. So I will see you there. Right? Okay. That is good. I think we are done. Make sure that don't forget to, of course, subscribe to the channel, which is basically class 7th Unacademy, because you're going to get to see more of me and you're going to get to see more of other educators. So a lot of Navameta ma'am, a lot of Mohammed sir, a lot of Priyal ma'am, everybody is here, trust me. And then, of course, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe because why not? Right? And make sure that you write in the comment section, did you actually like the class? Did you find the class boring or did you find the class a little meh? Anything that you feel about the class or you thought it was helpful, you think the resources are helpful, anything that you want me to improve on, let me know. I meant like let me know. Cool. Now that I'm done embarrassing myself on the internet, I am going to go. Neeraj, I'm so sorry that you find the class boring, but it would be really good if you could let me know what do you want to do in the class so we can do that. Right? Himanshi, yes, of course, definitely. I will try to include more Hindi because yeah, English की class ना हिंदी में वो सेंस नहीं रखता मुझे वैसे. But ठीक है, I will definitely try to include more Hindi in my English class as as much as weird as it may sound, but I think it's better if you learn English as with the English as the medium. वरना फिर वही है, हिंदी में सोचोगे इंग्लिश में कन्वर्ट करोगे तो सैड हो जाएगा. Hmm? Anyway, bye guys. It was nice. Asmita, you are amazing too. The class was not the only thing that was amazing here. Great guys. Good to see everybody. I'm gonna log out for the session. Bye. I'm gonna see you tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. Saturday, 5 o'clock with articles. So if you want to learn articles, or if you want to, meet me, or if articles is coming in your exam, make sure that you're there at 5 o'clock. It's going to be an hour-long class. Yes. I'm going to stop streaming and I'm going to make sure that you come back to the video to check out for the resources, the assignment schedule, and the summary so you can download it and keep it. Right? I'm going to see you. Bye. All right. Bye.